I got to lean in.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Lead for the Housewives of Potomac. I'm here with Antonio and Danny, and we're here to talk about the latest episode from season 8, episode 6, I believe it is. I don't know. I feel like they've been on for a long period of time. Nonetheless, how you doing, Antonio, and all this red? You look nice and red.
I'm doing good, Cortez. How you doing? What's up, Danny?
I'm
Hey,
good.
my love. So good to be back. I haven't been in Potomac in a while. I had to call in a few weeks ago.
I know. It's been late. It's not a lot of damn nights over here. So thank God we got a full panel of men. No shade to ladies. We love our ladies, but still. But I identify as both. So when I'm on there, it's ladies night. When I'm over here, it's men night. So
Not he, she. Okay.
hey, ladies, Jasmine is in the chat right now. Hey, Jazz. I'm sure she'll probably be called in today as Baby Please or whatever alias she gonna be on tonight. I don't know. But what's going on, Jazz? And if you're in the chat, let us know if you're watching and where you're watching from. Hey, L Vision. I don't see anybody else right now, but I see y'all coming in, so I'll give y'all a second. Before we get started, as I always say, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you guys were looking for a Bell Collector, that was not a Bell Collector episode today. They're going to double up next week, so that was not an accident. We purposely did not film for that. But make sure I check out our other shows. I think Married to Medicine is going to be really good tomorrow. I may tune in because I'm actually caught up and I was really gagged at the episode. So check out the show.
Yeah.
Check out Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is getting real spicy, and Miami too. All the shows are really good right now, with the exception maybe of this one. We'll see.
It's not bad though.
It's not bad. I ain't gonna say it's not bad, but compared to the others, I would put Potomac at the bottom compared to the other shows, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. How y'all feel about the shows? You agree, Antonio? You put them at the
Yeah,
top?
absolutely. No. I agree. No. I put them at the bottom so far.
What would be what if you would say of all the shows on right now, what is like the best one of this one?
I toggle between Married to Medicine and Miami.
Okay. Danny?
Oh, easily Married to Medicine for me.
I honestly would say Married to Medicine as well, but I feel like Beverly Hills is about to take it. I really feel it. Yeah. Married to Medicine been on fire since they came on, which gives them the edge. But I think Beverly Hills is about to really turn it. And I think we're going to be in for a ride.
But they need a slow build because they got 95 episodes. Married to Medicine
That's
don't
true.
have as many, so they had to take off from the beginning.
Ooh, thank God they don't have as many.
That too. All right, y'all. Well, let's get into the episode. As I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot to discuss. I don't have a lot, but somehow my notes are just so long for these scenes. Maybe because a lot was going on. I will say it was a very interesting, jam-packed episode. So we pick up last week. The girls were at the pool. Nneka and Wendy just had their exchange about Lebe, and coming into this episode, Nneka makes the comment that Lebe was at her sip and see. And Wendy's like, well, I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Like Giselle was there. She got a hat too. I mean, not a hat. What was it? What is it
A
called?
gala.
Again, I don't want to say it wrong. I don't want nobody coming over here and put me in the shrine name. I'm just saying. So again, get it wrong.
We're gonna say head wrap in just in case I said it wrong too. I don't want my name in the shrine either. So we're gonna say head wrap.
If it's not right, then put his name. I know his last name. Hit me up. I'll give it to you. So she said, Wendy responds. Basically, everyone is on the defense and thinks that Wendy's lying. And we talked about this last week. I seen people in the comments, people saying y'all defending Wendy. You two weren't here, so I'll ask y'all just really quickly. Do y'all think Wendy is lying? Because Asia and Jazz were all on the same page, but maybe y'all may think differently. Do y'all think Wendy is lying? Just that in general, that piece.
Personally, I don't necessarily think she's lying, but I do think something is being left out of the story. Some parts are missing. Okay. So maybe not necessarily that she's lying, but she's not being as clear and detailed as I think she could be.
Okay, Danny?
I agree. I still think we're missing a lot of pieces of the puzzle because nothing either one of them saying fully adds up to me.
Okay. I just want to see what y'all going to say. I'm sure TKC in the comments is if he even show up today, he may say we lied. We defended Wendy hard, but child, I just want to get y'all thoughts as y'all were here last week. All right, so in this whole moment, she asks, "Well, you want to talk about the sip and see? Were you there, or were you still in LA smoking crack?" And I'm like, "Smoking crack? Like, first of all, with Giselle, like, people still smoke crack. I didn't know that was a real thing. They do everything else, but I don't know if they're doing that, Wendy." And of course, everyone's like, "Oh no, not with the drug allegations. Just drop those." And Wendy's like, "Well, listen, let's stop with all allegations. In period." And Giselle is just like, I mean, sorry, Wendy's like, "Well, honestly, like." She said stop all allegations. And Giselle is like, well, honestly, what she said was backed up. And I don't think Giselle knew what she was talking about by saying that, because NECA really, to me, hasn't really given me the aha. She's saying things and it can be assumed, but we don't really know the real truth. Like you said, there's something missing. So they diffuse the situation, and the ladies kind of go to their separate sides. Mia's dropping her cooch in the water, bouncing in the water, making ripples. I said, okay, Mia, taking it back to her stripper at the shake joint, lobster days. And Candace goes over to check on NECA, and she's just trying to say, like, are you good? Because I heard in your voice that you kind of felt like you were. It seems like you were hurt. Wendy sees this and walks over to Candace and tells her, listen, as a friend, I'm telling you right now, don't talk to her about me. And that's what happens. I'll stop there and get you guys' thoughts on that whole exchange, from the smoking crack to the everything else going on, to Candace basically kind of checking NECA and Wendy being like, don't do that, not about me, as your friend. Danny.
I didn't have a problem with her. Was that an echo? Try. Hold on, y'all.
You go ahead. Go ahead. Why you get it together?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
For me, I didn't have a problem with Wendy saying the crack comment. You talk about my mother, the gloves are off. I'm gonna say what the hell I want about you. And as far as Wendy telling Candace, don't talk about her, like don't talk to NECA like and bring her name up and stuff. I kind of felt that, but then at the same time, I kind of felt like Wendy wanted to make sure that nothing else was gonna, like that NECA don't get a chance to bring up more lies on camera, like to keep bringing it up. Is how I was feeling.
Do you feel like she said that? Yeah, I gotta make her shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tonio?
The situation is still just so weird to me, and then Wendy just kind of throwing out, oh, I was in LA smoking crack. It's like, where did that even come from? Like, what? It was so confusing, in which I understand, because it's not like Wendy is like a girl where she can, really read or go at somebody like that and kill them. So, but I just thought that was really odd for her to say, oh, you're out there smoking crack, and then to all of a sudden change. It does seem as if that there is, Wendy just kind of wants to be done with the situation and wants to move on, because maybe there is something that's that's there that somebody doesn't want to come out. I don't know. I didn't think it was odd either for Lebe to be at the shower or whatever, and to get the the hair wrap, because like Wendy said, well, Giselle got one too, so what does that even mean? But okay. Jasmine last week was like, or I think it was Jasmine said she was kind of liking Mia. I think I'm kind of liking Mia as well. I can't really just recall any lies that she told, like off the rip. In the past we could just be like, oh, Mia lying. She seems to be more authentic and not as much as a liar as we've come to know her to be. So and then the whole situation with, I think, I don't know, that was odd for Wendy to go up to Candace and kind of, hey, don't talk to her about me either, because at the end of the day, there's still a show. They still kind of have to remember in their minds, like, I get it that Wendy is my friend, but Candace still has to play chess. So yes, she definitely wants to, if she's playing the game right, get to know NECA, because you don't never know next season who's going to stay, who's going to go, X, Y, and Z. So her and NECA kind of forming some type of relationship makes sense. But it did seem like Wendy was, I don't know, for her to not know NECA and NECA to not know her, she seems very guarded about that whole situation. Yeah. And she doesn't seem to articulate herself well when explaining what's going on in certain situations.
Yeah. And Cortez, sorry, I forgot to mention the Lebe thing too. I don't find it odd that Lebe was there either, because that's her sister's friend at the time. So I mean, If my sister tell me she wants someone to come to my event, I'm gonna be fine. And we even seen in the text exchanges between Wendy and Lebe, it was always Lebe asking Wendy for something, and Wendy kind of like barely responding, taking weeks, sometimes days to respond. So they obviously wasn't friends.
Yeah, agreed.
The only thing I have to add about this is that it's interesting. I understand what Wendy is trying to do by going to Candace, but I really didn't like that for her. Just because she has befriended Ashley, knowing, and honestly, I think Candace doesn't really care. I don't think that's something that they even discuss. They don't talk about Candace, but at the same time, I don't think if she knew the content of the conversation, she wasn't really talking about Wendy. She was just like, "Are you okay?" It's more to check this, because I think that's important. I think, to me, that's what makes, in my opinion, her a likable person on this cast, is because she tends to, even though she has issues and things like that, for the most part, unless you're Giselle, she always kind of comes around, or she gives everybody a fair chance, I feel, on the show. And I think this is a moment to be like, just because you're beefing with my close friend, are you okay? Because I feel like I heard that you were a little hurt. I didn't really see an issue with that, and I hate that Wendy did that, because what Wendy did, honestly, is an issue within these shows in general. When you create these alliances and you think there's a division, that's not what we need. They already divided as hell right now. So it's good for her to kind of keep that relationship, because it keeps it adds for a little more. Hell, I want to see what they're going to talk about, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that Wendy kind of stopped it just a little bit, because I know NECA is like a broken record, and it's going to keep saying the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. So I didn't like what she did, but the fact she did it, we saved 5 minutes of our time of hearing the same story.
I also feel like NECA, Candace is the only one that would talk to NECA that would actually try to bring any peace or resolve, like try to, have NECA and Wendy like come to a resolution. Everybody else that talks to NECA wants them to stay divided.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they want Wendy out, so
yeah. Okay. So then there is some bus rides on the way to dinner. NECA, she basically says in her car that she really wants Wendy to own it, and Wendy says that there is no space for them in their friendship ever, to have a friendship ever. Like basically they're done before they even got started. So this is interesting. I'm curious to see, does she stand in there, because we have seen Wendy backtrack before. I'm just saying. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So they get to dinner, and at the dinner table, they get the menus. Giselle can't see the menu. Just Karen is like, she wants to get something to eat, but she's just too tired to chew. And so they talk about who in the group swallows. And surprisingly, the person that swallows, were you surprised that Robyn swallows? I don't know. I was
surprised that Mia doesn't.
Yeah, I was expecting more hands to go up.
I did.
I was expecting more. I wasn't expecting. Robyn gives me Snorlax. If you know Snorlax, that's a Pokemon that sleeps. She gives me Snorlax in the bedroom. And so I wasn't expecting to hear that from her. But Candace and Karen throw shade at Juan's cheating sperm, basically alluding to her like, why would she be swallowing his sperm as if who knows where it's coming from or who he put it in or stuff like that. So they both do their shade. But everybody's actually bonding. Literally everybody's like having a moment. You even see a couple of exchanges between Wendy and Robyn. That's been dead for a while. Ashley says that basically she doesn't swallow, but she catches it, and when the man goes to sleep, she spits it out. So I'm just like, so you hold it?
So she's just sitting there holding it in her mouth.
Was she doing oil pulling with it?
That is so childish.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird for her to say.
Maybe but Michael didn't have a lot. That's why.
I hope she ain't been holding Michael Darby's sperm in her mouth.
Michael probably only gave a little drop or two.
That's what I'm saying. It probably went a lot nowhere.
Oh, you're right. It probably.
That's all.
I cannot. And so then they ask about who licks. The little words, who licks booty hole. And the person, that says that they have was me. Well, the first nobody said nothing. Then Mia was like, she has. Mia's interesting. Mia even said earlier that she used to swallow, but when she got married, she stopped. And I'm like, so
I thought it should be the first.
You rather swallow random man pink cum versus. I was just like, girl, this is too much.
Maybe she stopped because it wasn't G's that she was catching when she got married.
Yeah,
or maybe she couldn't
going on.
That was a rule he made. You can't do that no more when you sleep with that man.
I will say they should talk about sex more often, as sex clearly brings them together. Because I mean, they were like actually having a good time. I think all the housewives typically have good conversations via in sex. Typically, like it brings them together. So kudos to them for doing that and asking all the questions. Everybody participated. We didn't hear much from Giselle. The only thing Giselle really said was that a dig at Karen not liking balls in her mouth or face. And they showed a flashback of Karen being like, but she says that, she doesn't, but there comes a time and place where you got to switch things up, which is true. They've been together for a long time and she has to do something with raised balls. And I don't blame her. That's not me. She had to do something with her balls, with his balls. So, yeah. So nothing really. Y'all have any thoughts about that scene? No? Okay, cool.
No. It was good to see them getting along, though. I really enjoyed that.
They go back to the hotel. Some of the girls kind of go their separate ways, but it ends up being Robyn, Nneka, and Candace in the room. And Robyn, is a little questionable that Candace is being all buddy with her, wearing her slides and stuff like that, considering that she had just made all these comments about her in the media and stuff like that. So she makes that comment. But before Candace leaves, they cackling and kikiing. She says, it's time to talk. And I was like, okay, this is good. Like, they need to have a conversation because I mean, yeah, they got all this tension, but I felt like their relationship was more salvageable until later. We'll talk about that in the moment. But I feel like of anybody that has an issue, they could probably salvage theirs, in my opinion. Anything on this scene? If I move to the next one, because this is where the juice happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So we get to breakfast, and the breakfast is like vagina themed or something. And Nneka is there, and Nneka told her husband that Wendy accused her of smoking crack. He laughs, and she was kind of upset, like that's not funny. But he was just like, girl, you don't smoke crack. Like, stop it. She just ignore her. I thought that was cute. I was like, you know what? That's how it should. Because if it had been some other men, they've been like, what? She smoke crack? Get on the phone. I don't know. Been all in the women's business, but he laughed it off and went on back to work. Giselle, Ashley, and Robyn are in the room first for breakfast, and Giselle is just so upset, and she feels like she was not a good friend by leaving Robyn in the room with Candace on the night before. And so Ashley is just surprised that Candace actually went up in there, considering they have an issue. So Ashley gives out the activities about the coochie and the vagina stuff. Nobody really wants to do it. I think it's really a dig at last year at Mia seeing Wendy's coochie. So they show the flashback from that. And so after that, Karen doesn't want to. So Karen brings up the fact that Robyn got the best room at the hands of going through some things. She's like, well, honestly, we don't really know what you're going through. So Robyn is just like, why would I talk about, things with people that don't reach out to me? Candace says that she actually did reach out and she didn't get a response or anything like that. And Robyn was like, are you kidding me? Like, you reached out to me, but you also was in the media doing all these things. I went through all this trauma, all this embarrassment, everything in the last few months at the hands of what you've been saying. And Candace is like, well, so have I. And so Karen chimes in as they going back and forth and saying like, yeah, because you withheld information last year while her husband was under fire, is what they're talking about. I was actually surprised that Karen said that. Usually Karen is a lot more neutral and she'll stay on that fence, but she jumped over the fence in this moment. And I think it's because it was Robyn. Because it's Robyn.
She already on the side there.
She's on the fence does not exist when it comes to Robyn.
High in the freezer.
Correct. So, she, like typical Robyn form, she stands up in a whole aggression, spin around, turn around, come at me, and she feels attacked. And so somebody, I don't know who it was that mentioned, I think Mia was like, well, you can get the story on Patreon, and Giselle was like, yeah, go pay for it. And I'm like, girl, y'all sound crazy. But y'all sound really crazy. And so Wendy, as it kind of simmers down, Wendy is just like, why didn't we just see you and your homegirl having a conversation saying like, hey friend, this is what I'm going through? Giselle says, just because y'all didn't see it doesn't mean it didn't happen. And they go back and forth with that. Robyn explains the story, and then it comes to the point to where she says, well, honestly, she didn't really see the messages because the one deletes messages. Actually, he doesn't even save numbers. People call him, he'd be like, who is this? all the time. That's what she said. Everybody's looking at Robyn crazy. Like, okay. And that's how that scene ends before they do the next activity. Antonio, what's your thoughts?
Okay. I wore this red shirt because it was that red flag that Juan gave Robyn about deleting the numbers and the messages and everything. But going back to the beginning of the scene, I have to say, after last night's episode, I like Robyn a little bit more than maybe what I thought, especially in scenes that do not have Giselle in them. I started to like her a little bit more. And it also, when they came into Ashley's room and Giselle started saying that stuff to Robyn about, oh, I left you with those people. I can't believe you invited them in the room. To me, that she was trying to push Robyn to, hey, don't be nice to these girls, going forward. Don't be letting them in your space. That's kind of what I was getting from what Giselle, was doing. But I actually enjoy Robyn sometimes without Giselle, just because Giselle is the leader and Robyn is definitely the follower. So it's good to kind of see Robyn in her own individual element without, Giselle. The whole thing, I like what I like Karen's performance this whole season, but I really liked what she did in that room in which she pulled Robyn, called Robyn to the carpet, and she got Robyn to open up and actually to talk about the situation. So now any type of daggers they may throw at Robyn is not anything because of what maybe they've read. They can throw daggers because of what she said. Like that, to me, him just deleting numbers consistently, I've never seen anything like that, especially if you're in the type of environment that he's in. Why wouldn't you want to save these different coaches' numbers, especially now since you're looking for a job? So how you gonna get in contact with the people to see if they need somebody? So I thought that was a good situation. I did like that when Robyn, was kind of like, Candace, why would I respond to that? Because and I get that Candace may have been hurt just because of what she was going through, and Giselle is Robyn's friend. But I guess her, calling Robyn a fraud, and they're supposed to be friends, and she looked at Robyn like a big sister. I understand why Robyn felt a way towards Candace and was kind of paying her in that moment.
Let me real quickly. That message that Candace sent to her was so dry. It was just like, all things aside, I'm sorry. It was so dry.
It was
like,
very generic.
Right. It's like we give him. So I know we got a problem, but look, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm sorry, just because of everything you're going through. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And when Robyn said, "What you wanna whoop my ass?"
She's right. What you want, baby? I thought
You know,
Robyn's feet was on fire and she was just going in circles like, oh my God.
Karen was like, no, girl.
I was somewhat on Robyn's side a little bit until she got up doing that mess. Because I really don't understand why Candace was surprised that Robyn never texted back, which I wouldn't have texted you back either. Like, if I'm your friend, I'm your big sister, I get that you was hurt that I didn't share what I was going through with you or with the group. But if I'm your sister, you blasted me online, said all this, and then want to text me privately to check on me. No, do both the same way. Either check on me and read me in private, check on me in private, or read me in public, check on me in public. Like, all that was very phony to me on Candace's part. This is probably one of the things in recent times I can't rock with Candace with, like acting shocked that I would have ignored her too. She lucky the text didn't turn green when she pressed send. As far as everything else, I agree with Antonio. Robyn is just a dumb, she was more likable because I saw she was more vulnerable a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that ammo, she don't want to give it to them, and she just gave it to them, and now they're gonna tear her ass up the rest of the time, and she got nobody to blame but herself.
I can't believe Giselle didn't jump in that time, because
Giselle don't agree.
Karen was talking at Candace was talking. I think Wendy may have even said something. Giselle never said anything. I thought for sure she would have kind of jumped into that conversation. Yeah, she kind of said it in her confessional too. So, and I get it also. Okay, do we fault Robyn though for, I guess you're supposed to, 100% trust your spouse, trust your partner. Do we fault Robyn for trusting him? Like,
you can trust all you want, but this is being a human being. Like, when you have history of infidelity and all these things, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you can have all the trust you want, but a part of you should still be smart and not be dense to the situation and be like, okay, like, I feel like that may be true. Maybe you don't save certain things and delete. I don't know, but even in her explanation, it gave like even like she was a bit unsure about it. It just seemed like she was too confident in saying. I'm surprised she said it because she has to. Where's her awareness to know how she's making herself look? She's literally every episode. Every time she speak on Juan, she's not making him look any better. We're gonna talk about more of Juan soon. It gets worse every time.
I would rather Robyn just say, because I really think she feels she can't do no better than Juan. I think I think she had her self-esteem. He's really messed with her self-esteem. But I really would rather Robyn just say, I don't give a fuck what y'all say, what he does. I'm not leaving him, so we can let this rest. That's what I would say. If I really was gonna leave him.
I think Robyn is more so, well, even with that, still like a hear no evil, see no evil. It's kind of like if I don't see it, I got to look at his phone to see it. So if I don't look at his phone, I won't see it. That means it didn't happen. So.
Okay, Sammy, trust your partner, but trust their intuition too. Hello.
Her intuition, she be leaving it in the closet. It don't be with her no more.
And I will say this too. I didn't mind the things that Candace said about Robyn, just because, and not even just the fact that she feels like she co-signed with her. But last year, if you remember, like there were moments where Robyn was like slick coming at Candace. I mean, somebody mentioned about the tape recorder thing. Like there were moments where it was like I feel like she was blindsided. So I think sometimes you got she's also very spiteful, and I guess decided to come back at her. So yes, I mean it's kind of foggy for them right now in this moment, but I don't. Just because she went online and said she's a fraud, I mean, she is a fraud. Let's just be clear. She did go on there and not tell a story and did lie. And she was, even though she claimed she was supportive, she was hee and ha as they went on about this man that, her husband. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
I don't have a problem with her saying that online. My problem is you acting shocked that Robyn didn't reach out to you. Say all that, but then don't bother checking up on me. Stand over there.
Yeah. Because last week or whatever they had the event, she was like, I don't understand what the problem is with me. I mean, at least I agree. You should at least know, like, okay, that the problem is I called her a fraud, so maybe she upset. So it makes sense. I get it. Okay, so that was the end of that. They picked names out of a hat to what they're gonna do for the activities. One group is going to Distillery, and one group is going group shopping. And Karen took me out because Karen said, I'm going to the Distillery with Robyn, knowing damn well Robyn don't want to be with her. First of all, she didn't even know. Karen didn't even know where she was going because she thought she was going to a brewery. Let's just be clear. But anyway, Candace and Robyn end up switching, and Candace is now going with that group. And I'm so glad because, baby, you know what? I don't know. I wish that would have been a very interesting, two trip, because you would have had Candace over here with Giselle. And you would have had Robyn over here with Wendy and what's her name? And Karen.
Karen, yeah.
I think production should have told them y'all can't switch because I want to see what this is gonna be like. I'm just saying. And we would have had Robyn by herself. She probably would have been fun. She probably would have actually been fun.
Ashley didn't want him to switch either. Ashley was like, "No, y'all can't do that."
Yeah, I wish production would have been like, "No, y'all can't do that," because I would have liked to see that.
We all always say Robyn would be so much more fun without Giselle around.
Yeah, I remember Robyn was my fave at the first two seasons. That she was one of
Giselle was mine too. The first two. Giselle and Robyn were my favorite.
I mean, might have things changed. All right, so they are on bus rides again, and on the bus ride it's Karen, Mia, Candace, and Wendy. They're just basically, Karen is talking about saying that she could hear, her voice, and she knows now that she loves that man, that Robyn loves Juan. And she feels like she's gotten all that Robyn can give. As in other words, there's nothing else gonna be coming from this lady. Like, we should probably drop it. Wendy says she don't care. She can go to Canada. He can go to Canada. He can get his number changed. She does not effing care. And I'm just like, okay, I can't wait till Mia, who's sitting right next to you, goes and tell her that. And I hope that Wendy stands in it, because he definitely said it right there in the damn bus. So in two different activities, Ashley, Robyn, Nneka, and Giselle, they're together and they kind of talk about Nneka being married for like a year and some change. And she talks about how her wedding experience was horrendous. However, the flashbacks and the pictures look great. I mean, maybe it's not what she necessarily wanted, but maybe she should look up the definition of horrendous because it looked pretty nice to me. I don't know, but she talks about her experience, and Robyn says that basically she doesn't like the way that the ladies approached her. In other words, she's saying it's more about the approach, and that she was happy to explain about whatever, but she felt like she's being attacked and ganged up on. Now, on the other scene, we got Wendy, Mia, Candace, and Karen. And these ladies, they're at a distillery, but they want everything, but whiskey and gin. They want beer, they want wine. The man is like, this is a distillery. This is a distillery. This is like, ma'am, we don't have beer and wine. We only have gin and whiskey. So, they try some of the different samples and do that. And they go and sit down and have like a little lunch too outside. And as they're sitting down and talking, there was like a little bird or a crow or whatever it was. And the bird like, right? Go ahead.
But who not making sense on the panel?
Huh?
The comment. Who not making sense on the panel?
What comment?
Rod Cortez, finally somebody making sense in the panel.
Oh, well, I don't know. Curtis, who ain't making sense? We'll find
Probably
out.
Me.
So the crow makes a noise, and Mia's like, "That's not your mama, is it?" Wendy is like, "Don't do that." What took me out was actually Candace and Karen's face, because they was like, "Oh, girl." And what also took me out was that Mia fell out. She fell.
She definitely laughed at
by herself. And I loved it. And so Wendy's upset. She tells her, "Don't do that." And Mia's just like, well, let's clear it up. And so even though Wendy's like, she doesn't feel like she needs to, she goes ahead and explains that basically this whole situation, the shrine, is not something negative. And she gets emotional by saying, "That's my mama. So let's not do that." Like, that's all. Mia decides that she's going to let it go and drop it. And that's where the scene ends. Any thoughts on either of the two ladies' like individual trips, Danny?
I didn't really have no thoughts for the Nneka thing, other than what I noticed is even when she was telling her something, they really didn't seem too interested. They was like they were just being polite, paying attention to her. Mm-hmm. The Wendy and Mia thing, I'm sorry, I bust out laughing. Candace was looking down. I know Candace wanted to laugh too. She was waiting to see if Wendy was gonna laugh. I did appreciate how Wendy expressed to Mia that she didn't like it, and I appreciated Mia's response to Wendy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very real and sincere moment there. But Wendy, I also bust out laughing because she reminded me of that time Candy was on Watch What Happens Live crying, saying, "That's my mama, and I don't care about whatever."
Me too, Danny. She reminded me.
You do whatever. That's what that reminded me of. But that was it. That's all I got for that.
I mean, I wish that they wouldn't have switched names, but in regards to it was funny. I will say that, because Mia just kind of hit it like right off, like, that ain't your mama, is it? But we remember last season or whenever that was, when Candace called Mia mama low budget, and how she was crying and talking about her mama gonna relapse and get back on crack or whatever it was that she was doing to make her be addicted, in the first place. So it's odd that she really did kind of take it there to call that lady mama or reference that lady mama being a witch or evil or whatever. So I think that Mia definitely shouldn't have done that, but because she did, I did laugh. But I also do like the exchange, and Mia was, receptive to it. So I thought that was good. The other group, that was a boring trip, and the boots that they were trying on that they bought, they looked ugly. So yeah, that's it.
I didn't mind the Mia thing. I've seen, I'm always looking through videos and comments before we come and do our recaps. And some people was just like you said, why would Mia be saying that after, she had such an issue with Candace making a joke about her mom. But then they were saying that she was warranting and throwing a little shade at her mom because, last year, Wendy's mom, gave a whole rant about Mia when she threw the water on and stuff like that. Personally, I thought it was just fun. If Wendy want to get emotional, that's fine. She didn't cry, but if she wants to get emotional, that's fine.
She had some tears.
It was something that came out. Yeah, I think she was a little tipsy from the distillery, brewery, winery, wherever they went.
So that was whiskey coming out her eye.
I think it was some of that 250 proof whiskey or whatever it was.
Golly.
But I think she's well in her right to get emotional. But I didn't find any issue with it. I thought it was funny. And I hate that only Mia got to laugh about it because it looked like Candace and Karen wanted to crack up, but they were just like,
Candace had to look down, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have been able to hold it. I probably would have tried, but yeah, I don't know.
I really want Mia and Wendy to just be friends. I really want them to, but I mean, I don't think they're ever going to be there because even on Watch What's Happening Live last night, you know, Mia made a comment about Wendy deflecting a lot this season. So it's like they're never going to get there. And I hate that. For
but she's right. But Mia was right too.
I mean, we can see it.
I kind of want Mia to be in a good place, I guess, with almost everybody. You know, I don't want her to
be the fun one.
She's actually more neutral now than anybody on the cast. She's very neutral to everybody.
I'm liking Mia so far, and to me, her confessionals they crack me up. Her little. I like Mia. I'm liking Mia. I know Bob and Bang, not that Bang.
Yeah. I know Haitian Empress says she did cry. I know y'all, she did cry. I'm just joking. She cried. Dang. Her explanation was real. Like her mom, and we know her relationship with her mom, bro. We know why her mom is so hard on her because you know she built her to be everything she couldn't be because she had to take care of her. You know, so I get that.
But that's also what I was waiting on Wendy to say. That's my mom. I'm gonna defer her no matter what. It's kind of like what she was saying in a moment, and that's what I've been.
But I wish you would have got this moment earlier. You know, maybe she didn't want to be so vulnerable with other. But I think had she gave the other girls this, they would have dropped even NECA because it's like, you talk about Shrine, but you're basically saying my mom is this bad person. Like you're not talking about her directly, but you kind of are. You know. So I wish she would have gave everybody else this. That way that they could be like, all right, let's just drop it. Because they all think it's fun and games. They think it's the voodoo and shrine. And that's all they see. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be deeper than that. That's why Wendy got all choked up and cried. So yeah. But kudos to Mia for apologizing this moment. Because she when she fell out by herself laughing, it gave very much so like it's funny. All right, so the next scene, they go to lunch. They all come back together, and they talk about what happened with everybody's individual trips. They talk about how they learned more about NECA. NECA explains that she, again, her last wedding was horrendous, so she can't wait for her Nigerian wedding, and it's going to be on the land of her family. And she talks about her dad like buying like a chief title, I believe she said, like the title of the chief, something like that. Is that what she said?
Was it her dad or her husband or somebody has the title, but she's saying that you got it because of who you are.
I thought it was her dad. I could be wrong.
But now she's
I thought it
saying
said
like
uncle.
But now she's saying that you can buy the titles, but not necessarily that he bought his. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed. I got. I watched this twice. Yesterday when I was tipsy, and then today when I was sober. And clearly I got it wrong both times. But thank you.
He was still tipsy today from yesterday.
I was on.
And Shauna's telling us it's the husband.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought she said. It was her husband. Yeah, I thought she said that.
Well, the husband. So from this conversation, Karen is confused, and Robyn was like, "Well, don't be confused. It's just like you bought, your Twitter verified check off Twitter." And she's just like, "I didn't do that." She's like, "Yeah, you and Mia did." And Karen is like, "No, I didn't." So she goes and shows that she reads out that it's verified, but it says verified via Twitter Blue, which indicates that she definitely paid for it. And she just freaks out and saying that she don't know what happened. She's gonna call Apple Pay because Apple Pay got her messed up. She's being charged monthly for it, and it's revealed that she definitely does, but she claims she doesn't know about it. She thinks that Apple Pay is charging her on her own. I'm like, all right, Karen girl. But she says she's innocent. So Ashley announces the chicken shit bingo. Karen is not really here for that because she doesn't eat the dirty bird anymore. So she's like, what is this? They explain what it is. Then they start talking about Ashley and her divorce. Some of the ladies are, an advocate for finding her a new man, but some of the ladies are also saying they don't even know if she's really married. I mean, she's still, if she's even going through divorce right now, like what's happening, because we don't really know what's going on with that. We hadn't heard anything about it. Mia, talks about the lawsuit, and she's just like, turns to Candace, is he suing you? And Candace is like, she's not going to talk about it in the group. So Robyn is just like, okay, well, if we can't talk about that, like, what can we talk about? And Candace tells her, let's not be dense to the situation. And I ain't gonna lie, I holler because
Me too.
Robyn's response, excuse me,
She gagged her in that moment.
he gagged her. I ain't gonna lie, if I was Robyn, I would have said,
Robyn should have stood up.
You would have started windmilling, said. You would have started windmilling.
I mean, I'm not saying to Candace, but if somebody said, like, excuse me,
that's when she should have stood up and said, "What?"
But honestly, I'm gonna say Robyn should have just shut up. She shouldn't have said anything. That should have been her fight. Let Giselle say that. Let somebody else. Let NECA. Let even Mia say it. Robyn, I don't think Robyn should have said that. So when she asks her to clear it up, she says again, "Let's not be dense." Robyn, you're not dumb. Like, let's not act dumb. And she's like, what do you mean? She's just like, it's a legal matter. And you would know about a legal matter, although you did yours completely wrong by speaking on things that you felt, which probably didn't help you because, as we know, he was fired last year because of that. And so she's just like, yeah, no, I didn't have anything to do with that. And Wendy was like, well, it's a Title IX violation. She explains in her confessional. And Robyn is just saying that he didn't do anything that he was accused of. All the ladies are gagged by looking at her like, are you serious, Robyn? Like, clearly something happened. Like, it wouldn't have gone that way and he wouldn't have been fired. But she feels that she didn't do anything, that he didn't do anything. Also, that she didn't do anything last year by saying anything that helped him get, implicated for those situations. So I'll stop there. Danny, give me your thoughts on this whole thing, whether it be about the Apple Pay or even Ashley getting divorced or Candace versus Robyn being dent to the situation.
So Caroline, she subscribed. Karen definitely subscribed to Apple Pay, to Twitter, whatever. Don't care if Ashley married, divorced. I really could care less. I really enjoyed Candace calling Robyn dense because Robyn knows. I mean, even us in this panel, when we talk about legal situations, we always sit there and say that that's the response they should give. This is a legal matter. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed production showing that clip of Robyn being a hypocrite, saying to Andy at the reunion, well, it's an ongoing legal matter, so I can't say too much. So I don't understand these girls kind of forget everything that come out of their mouth and end up looking even more dumb than they already are. And Robyn knows damn well that Juan was fired for that. Juan knows, she knows damn well that fired for that. Oh, girl. And the university is probably only standing behind him because they don't want to admit no liability in the situation, because then they could be held responsible. They're not standing by him because they believe him. They're standing by him because they don't want to be held liable. So that's my take on it.
Mm-hmm. That is HR's job to make sure not that they protect the person, but they protect their business. So, in regards to, Karen was funny in that moment. She knew she was paying for it. Well, actually, I'm like, did she know? Because she did genuinely seem surprised. So I'm thinking maybe her assistant, got her paying for it and she didn't really know about it or something. But Ashley, whatever's going on with her as it relates to Ashley, and in the words of the great Nene Leakes, we still need to look for some new girls. Ashley can go. She ain't it. Her marriage ain't it. Michael ain't it. I'm tired of it. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere because she don't want to get divorced because then she can't pay for that $2 million home. So there's that. As it relates to Candace and Robyn, that was kind of funny. I was kind of caught off guard because I didn't expect Candace to go there. But why do you think that this lady would sit up here at this table on television and go into details about this lawsuit, like, and possibly, incriminate herself or say something wrong or whatever the case may be? Because that's what Robyn did, even though she said, "Oh, I can't. It's an ongoing legal matter. I can't speak about it too much." But then she said, but then she said something. But then she said, "But I believe him. I believe him. He did everything right. He went by the book. I know for sure he did everything." It's like, okay, it's an ongoing legal matter. I can't speak on it and leave it at that.
And Michael White's right there at the table.
Right.
waiting on something.
Waiting on something. She knows.
She is recording.
You know, Ashley. Let's not forget. Ashley claimed early in the season that she does not know anything about it. She's lying, and she is. And I for one, I think Candace is smart for not saying anything. Period. But especially in front of her, that's just like why she might as well be talking to the damn judge herself. Because Ashley gonna sing like a canary, baby, and be like, well, said. And that's
so I'm glad she didn't say anything. That was a smart thing to do. Go ahead and shut that down. Read whatever you want, and kind of go based off that from what y'all seen on the blogs. But other than that, I have nothing to say about that situation. So
yeah. Did y'all see that comment? TKC came in here and said, "I am."
Oh yeah, I put it up there.
Okay.
He said what?
He said, "I'm no longer a Robyn stan. She's very delusional and embarrassing," is what the other comment was. But TKC, have you been hacked?
Call in so we know it's real.
I mean, you just now figuring out that Robyn
don't
possibly.
Hey, we got to take babies. He here. We got him here. Let's keep him here.
Let's not beat him up. Let's welcome him with open arms.
And somebody else said that every time Robyn speaks, Giselle just looks down in shame. I can think
she did.
It was another comment. Yes, Giselle be quiet because realistically, in like other situations, she could probably help Robyn, but she can't help Robyn in this because she's not in their home. So this is literally these are Robyn's true feelings, thoughts, everything, how she processes things, and Giselle can't come in because this is like her life, not anything related to the show.
And you know what, Cortez? I feel like every time Robyn was talking last night, and we saw Giselle's face inside, she was doing that video. I said, like her, she was doing that internally because.
Yeah. TKC said he is mourning. Oh, we're gonna send you some.
Wendy, I'm gonna pray for you.
He said,
I'm gonna send your name to the shrine, TKC.
Oh Lord, no, when we send him to the good shrine, we're gonna clean
the good one.
If there's a bad one, I don't know. We're gonna send you to the good one, the one that Wendy's mama does allegedly work for. The good one. I said allegedly, so I'm clean. You ain't finna be getting me.
No, Wendy cleared it up. She said it's a Catholic shrine, and Catholic. Okay. I looked it up because I was curious, and I saw Wendy was telling the truth about the Catholic shrines and the saints.
Okay, well, listen, I'm here for it, Wendy, in this shrine.
Wendy, Wendy be knowing stuff. She definitely got book sense.
Of course, she does. So that was the end of that scene. The last scene. Did y'all have any other thoughts on this before we move past to the last scene? Because the last scene kind of small. But all right. So the very last scene. They go back. They change and get dressed. We do see Giselle talking to her man. She's mentioned her man many times now. She really wants us to believe this her man. She says he makes up for it in the areas and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, girl, you really that you is getting plunged out like that. I'm not saying she ain't, but I mean, she just it's overkill. It's like she's constantly bragging about this man that we know nothing about.
If she had a man, he'd be with her in every scene.
Yeah,
if he's a real
man. So they all get dressed and the girls look good. Some of the girls have on that orange, just like yellow color. I think it was like Wendy. Mia and who was it? Was it
Karen?
Yeah, they look good. I think everybody looked pretty good. I like nobody looks like bad in my opinion. Some look, worse than others. But in the car, Wendy and Mia are like noticing that Robyn and Candace are sitting by each other. And so they're like, are y'all good? Like I see y'all sitting by each other and blah, blah, blah. And Robyn's just like, yeah, I'm just not really interested in having a conversation at all. Like, because I guess they were supposed to have a conversation earlier, and she's like, I'm just not here for that right now. And she doesn't like the way that she's being blamed, she doesn't like she's being blamed for him being fired. She doesn't like anything. She says that this issue itself was the number one leading issue in all the problems they've had in their marriage. And I'm like, stop it. I mean, maybe it was because he lost his job, but in my opinion, this lawsuit and stuff like that, but I feel like personally they've gone through a lot worse. But she says this is the one thing that broke them. And I'm like, no, baby, more did. And so she gets emotional. As she gets emotional, all the ladies, even Wendy, turns around and is just like, we don't want you to cry. Candace don't want her to cry because she ain't got no tissue. She's like, I got no tissue, girl. I don't want you to cry. Please don't cry. And
oh my God, I have no tissue.
Right. But she is the scene by saying, y'all are turning me into a villain, and I didn't do nothing. I ain't do shit to y'all. None of y'all. I ain't do none
I ain't do nothing to none of y'all.
of y'all.
I just wonder if this one leads up to Robyn being on the side of the road and the sidewalk. Did she get out the van pissed off and go cry?
I'm assuming so.
Did she have on jeans when she came downstairs and got in the van for dinner?
This is the scene that if they show it, it's gonna be next week. I'm assuming because I ain't do nothing, none of y'all. And that's how it ends. So it stops right there. I mean, what y'all feel? What do y'all feel is going through her mind? Why y'all thinking Robyn is emotional right now? Like the real tea.
I think it's a lot for her. I think it's a lot for her. And I'm not saying this in the way that I pity her, because one thing that upsets me is Wendy turning around to comfort her when that woman had her phone out recording her when Mia threw that drink on her. So I feel like Wendy does these things that piss me off, that she shows too much grace to these bitches trying to get back and good with them at times, and it pisses me off. But I think it's an overload on Robyn. I think this is the first time in many seasons that Robyn is really, really feeling the fire from people, and it's not just one person this time. It's from Karen, Candace, and Wendy are really like, and she's not going to be able to escape it like she did before, because Giselle ain't even really speaking up for her and defending her, so she probably feel really alone in this moment. Even Ashley, who loved to jump in and attack Candace, ain't really jumping in to defend Robyn either. Yeah. I think this is the first time she's really feeling the fire in many seasons.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel any pity for Robyn. We have seen her along with Giselle, really go at these women. Wendy got breast implants and a BBL to compete with the girls that Eddie was allegedly, sleeping with, and to make herself feel better, and poking fun at Karen's tax situation and Karen's living situation. So, or what, Karen's marriage and what she's possibly said about Ray when she was drunk. Like, so we've seen Robyn in those situations and really go at some of the women and tear them down. So just because now, she's getting her moment, and she is one of the main topics this season. Don't try to cry and play victim and act like somebody's turning you into the victim, or the villain. I'm sorry, turning you into the villain now. When you weren't doing all that, you didn't have that same grace for other women on the show when they were going through serious matters as well. So I don't feel bad for her, at all. And she's saying that she don't like being blamed for him being fired. I'm sure she's not being blamed for him being fired. I think it's more so of it seems she went back to that room and she sat down and she thought about all the conversations that they had in that day, and she realized that the math wasn't mathing, and so she was in her feelings a little bit. So I that's what I think it was.
I don't think that she really, to be honest, I don't think they really went in on her. She's making it seem like they just came at her, and they really didn't come at her. They just basically asked her, like, Ashley said that you're going through something. We're hearing that you're going through some things. Y'all had this meeting earlier with Sharice and stuff like that. Okay, if you're going through so much, then why aren't you telling us? Like, just like any other group in the show, any other show with the group, like regardless of where you are with everybody, like, you're supposed to work as a group to share these things. And I think after finding out that she lied about all this stuff and then all the things she's going on now, I think they just wanted to hold her a little accountable. And I agree. I don't really feel bad for her, to be honest. I feel like there are many moments all these women at this moment have gone through something on this show. Now, if I look at one situation of him being fired and stuff like that and that whole lawsuit, hers might have been the worst, but I don't feel like they were just any different, because Ashley's poor when she was all in with Michael Darby. Lord Jesus, we know he went through lawsuits. He was touching on men's booties, women's booties, all types of things. So I mean,
dogs, cats,
and they were making jokes about it, everything like that. Yeah. So I mean, I don't feel any bad for her. And also for Wendy, like I feel like Wendy, I keep saying that, child. It's not Tuesday, Salt Lake City. Wendy, I think she kind of has to sometimes play this role of, if I don't like you, I got to stay like this. But I think she's actually genuinely a good person because,
I think she
She
likes Robyn
is.
as well. I
yeah,
do
I
think
think
she
she
likes
likes
Robyn.
Robyn, and I feel like when they fell out, I think it wasn't supposed to be her. It's supposed to be her and Giselle. But every time somebody falls out with Giselle, they fall out with Robyn. It's
Yeah.
happened with Candace, it's happened now it's happened with Wendy. Like it's just kind of like a thing. And so I'm glad she showed because she can always say, well, listen, I mean, I like this lady, but I don't want to see her hurt or whatever. Because I mean, who knows what really
It was
happened?
two other people to come for her in there.
Who? It really was just one.
Mia and Candace. Well, Mia could have did it.
Candace should have been the main one and been like,
Well, it looked like Mia did have her long arm, her
yeah,
big
Mia
hand, like,
was the
behind
one.
the
Mia
thing,
was the one
rubbing
I was
Robyn.
expecting to be the only one to comfort her. But I was surprised they all was just like, don't cry, don't cry. And I'm like, no, let her cry. I mean, let her get it out because she's feeling away.
I just hate that she feels dumb enough that she is so manipulated by him that she really believes, like she really allowed him to blame her for being fired. Like that,
Yeah.
He really has her manipulated. And that's kind of sad.
Yeah. I have a quick comment from a super chat from SD Mac. Thank you for the super chat, SD Mac. And it speaks to my comment I just made. Actually, Wendy showing compassion is not weakness. It shows the difference between her and the bandits. He blames her that is why she is crying. That's probably so. I do think it's a lot more going on in that damn house than what we're seeing, and he's probably very mean. Yeah, I mean, we see him.
I can see him being mean. We see him roll her window up and she pinched her arm.
He took her elbow.
It definitely can't get in that household. He already pissed. He got to be on camera this season.
Yeah, but he got to know that's how, like, that's the money right there. And granted, when he, they might have gave him some type of severance, possibly, or whatever. But yeah, she's making the money. So if Robyn is smart, she would, continue to try to move this storyline forward, and she would try to bridge some of these, or try to bridge together some of these gaps that she has now with some of the women. Just at season 8 now, you're going into season 9 soon. They're going to start making some changes soon.
Okay, we got some callers in the queue. I'm gonna go ahead and get them on. Make sure y'all like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, this is where we allow people to call in, our viewers to call in and give their thoughts and opinions. It's a couple of y'all in here, so be mindful of time and be mindful when you hear me say, well, thank you, because that means we have to let the next person on. Not be being rude. We have to keep the show going, okay? So
the broom at the Apollo.
Okay. First call is going to be Is it Tiana or Tayana? I'm not sure how to pronounce. I want to make sure I'm saying it right.
It's Tiana.
Hey Tiana, how are you?
Oh my God. You guys at work and you guys bring me so much joy. Nobody at work understands what I'm watching and they're like, what are you watching? I'm like, I gotta watch a lean.
So you watching the lean, and it's not the drug, the alcohol. It's like the lean, the good lean.
No, you gotta with the shoulders, lean in.
Yes, lean in. What you got for us?
So I want to start off by saying I don't care about the shrine. I'm so tired of hearing about the shrine. I want to move on from the shrine. Okay, Juan has girlfriends. He's getting fired from work. I don't know what production is doing. Why are we talking about shrines? It just doesn't make any sense. And if NECA really wanted to come for Wendy, why are we talking about how Eddie's whole family doesn't fuck with Wendy? Like, you had so many things you could have came up with. Like, does Eddie have siblings? A aunt? A cousin? A nephew? We don't know. Because his whole family has been cut off because of Wendy. So you could have came up with something better than the shrine. I didn't get that. But I feel like Robyn and Gizzard are so close because they both suppress their emotions. Like, anything they're going through, they just suppress it. And then they project it onto the other men. They project it onto Eddie. They project it onto Chris. And it just becomes, oh, well, we could talk about your relationships, but nobody can talk about theirs. And I don't know why Wendy was being nice to Robyn, because when they brought up the Eddie cheating rumors, Robyn was like, why do you care? Why do you care? It's not a big deal. Let's get over it. So why are you crying now when your man was actually cheating? So it just didn't make any sense to me. I'm getting tired of the Green Eyed Bandits, and I think Robyn is pulling a Kyle right now. Like, you can dish it, but you can't take it. Now you want to cry? It's giving very much Kyle. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling her gizzard.
Call in, okay?
You know, or neck, whatever.
Or ankles.
Ankle,
Ankles.
neck, bad leg,
As
whatever.
we say, Nicka.
I call her gizzard.
All right. Thank you,
religiously.
Tiana.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Tiana. Bye-bye.
All right,
Thank
Tiana.
you.
Oh, y'all is calling in today. Hold on. We got to move on. Who was that? Who is this? Demetria, did you
Jasmine.
Is this Demetrio?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. You left and came back.
Yeah.
What you got for us? How you doing?
I feel bad for Robyn. I really do. I know I don't like Robyn. I don't like her, but I
All
do
right,
feel
thank
bad
you.
for her
Bye
because
bye.
I do feel like she is very overwhelmed with the girls coming at her. Then who knows what she's dealing with at the house with one. Even though I don't feel bad for her because she do be in other folks' business, and now she don't want nobody to talk about hers, like she said, kind of like a Kyle. But it you do feel bad because I mean I have female friends and I see this type of stuff in real life day to day, so I do feel bad for her on those aspects. Now I do feel that as far as them want her to be accountable, I don't think they necessarily want her to be accountable about lying about the affair. I feel like they want her to admit that Giselle used Chris as a scapegoat to not talk about Robyn's crap. I feel like that's what they want her to say more than they want her to be accountable for lying, to me personally. But I do feel bad for her, you know what I'm saying? Like, she do need to leave one. I feel like Robyn has the potential, if she just could put her big girl panties on and say forget him and move on, like, and find somebody that really loves Robyn for Robyn, because one clearly don't, like, he doesn't, and it's clear. And I just feel bad for her because it can be hard to leave somebody that you've been with since you were a teen. They've been with each other all their lives, basically. So I feel bad for her in that aspect. Now, as far as Wendy and Nneka is concerned, Wendy is lying. I do think Wendy is definitely lying. And I wish she would I feel like she would look better if she would just own the fact, like, yeah, I told my mom and my sister that and they made them calls, but that does not negate the fact that you're an opportunist and was using my name for clout and recognition.
So what you say Wendy lying about?
I'm saying, like, about the phone call and stuff like that, because I 100% believe when Wendy found out about Nneka coming on the show and I guess the stuff that she said and the conversation she had with Ashley, I fully 100% believe she went and told her mom and them that, and her mom and them called the cousin-in-law and was talking shit.
Did she say though that it wasn't that they didn't call? Did she ever say that?
I mean, that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you just call her a liar for it, though. That's what
no,
I'm
I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm saying that I'm not. No, I'm saying Wendy is lying about the phone call. I feel like that did happen. But what I'm saying is, I feel like Wendy would have looked much better in this situation if she would have just owned it. Like, yeah, I did. My mom and them did call because you was using my name for clout and to be an opportunist to get on this show. I feel like she would have looked better if she would have said that to me.
Okay, that's fair.
What's up?
This show's queer. No, for real. It is.
And it was very here and there, by the way. Not neither here nor there. It was very here and
there. Right there.
Okay, TVCO, we got some more callers. We're gonna let you go, okay?
Bye, all right. Bye, guys.
Yo, Naya, you should definitely call in. Do not, be scared. We're very nice. Demisio is actually, was one of us before, so we know we're a little hard on him and TKC. But we just feel nice and kind. We would love to hear what you have to say. So don't be scared.
Still all love.
All right, our next caller is going to be Tammy. Hey, Tammy. Is this Tammy Robyn? Or is this Tammy from Love and Hip Hop? Which one is it?
No, this is Tammy from the UK.
Okay.
Yes,
the one that I wanted to hear. Exactly. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Pretty good. What you got for
Good, and you?
I think because I'm Nigerian, so I'm watching the show through that lens. And I would say that the comment that Wendy made about what's her name? Lebe was wearing gele, and she that's not really a big thing in the Nigerian community. Like, if I was to invite all of you to my wedding, I would want you or any of your female friends that you bring to wear the gele or the hat. That's what we call filler. So it's not really like a big
Okay.
thing for people to come and wear gele. Like, I'm going to Nigeria in a couple of weeks. I've already had about 5 invitations to weddings that I don't even know the people getting married, but I'm wearing the gele, if that makes sense. So it's not really a big thing. So I don't really know why Ashley was making it such a big deal, because it really isn't in our tradition. So I don't think that Wendy is lying. I feel like she doesn't really know how to articulate herself, and I think that's the first instance where where the whole group has kind of been against her, because in the last season, when was it last season or season before, I can't remember, when Robyn and Giselle came to her about the rumors about Eddie and whatever, I kind of think people on her side about that, but this is kind of the first time where kind of like majority of the group are kind of like questioning her. So even if I was in that situation, I'd feel like, oh, this is a bit new to me. And she's a smart girl. I call her a hot lane girl, someone that's been really smart. There's little geeky kids at school, and then she's finally come into herself and she's looking good. She's got her body done. So she probably hasn't been in an environment where she's felt, I don't want to say that she's never been confident, but she's coming into her I don't know, she just seems a bit confident now. So I don't think she really knows how to handle those situations. Other than that, I felt like this episode was really good in terms of it wasn't too dark. The first couple of episodes have just been, as a Nigerian watching, you just get very, very angry about the narrative that they're trying to push. But I definitely feel like this episode was a lot lighter. It was good to see all the girls around the table having a good conversation.
Yes.
Clearly they can get along, but people like Giselle, I think she needs to be off the show, because she is holding back. She's holding back progress. Like, why are you coming and saying, "Oh, I can't believe you let those girls in your rooms"? Are they animals? I don't really understand. So I don't know. I feel like this episode, I went into it thinking I'm going to be pissed off, but then when I actually watched the episode this morning, I was like, it was a fun episode. Clearly, these girls can get along, and if they continue this during the season, then this season could actually be watchable as opposed to going down a dark hole.
Yeah.
But
Is this your icon, right? Is this you?
Yeah, it's me.
You are beat, child. You do
Yes,
makeup?
God.
Thank you. Yeah, I did it myself. Thank you.
Come on, Tammy.
You look really good and beat now. I don't know.
Thank you.
No, thank you for calling up, Tammy.
No, thank you guys. This is my first time calling in, because
I wasn't sure, but welcome. I'm glad you called in. Call in more often.
Yes, call in more.
Yeah, it's like 2:40 a.m. in the UK. I always kind of miss the live, so I always watch the replay, but I kind of stayed up for this one just to see what you guys were talking about.
We so appreciate it.
We do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
Tammy,
much.
thank you for calling in, okay?
Have a good evening. Bye.
All right. That was
Listen, Tammy can read me a bedtime story anytime.
I know. I was very intrigued and listening. Like,
me too.
I want to hear her talk more.
Tell me more.
Okay, our next caller is going to be Sean, and I want to hear Sean talk too, because Sean always got something to say. What you got, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody.
What's up,
Hey,
Sean?
I'm good. Robyn is getting what she sows. I don't feel sorry. You're getting what you've been giving out. So just deal with it. Stop crying. I think Juan has some sort of spell over her, because you can tell when they talk. She gets this look on her face like she's scared, like he's gonna leave. So let me just shut up, be quiet, and shut this whole conversation down so he can go about his business. So he'll stay in the house. She's not putting him out. He's not going anywhere. And she just gonna have to sit it in and take it, just like she dished it out to. She stayed on Ashley's neck about Michael all these seasons. So she went after everybody's marriage. So deal with it. It's your turn. It's your hot seat. Sit in it. And for Wendy and Nneka, what did Wendy lie about? Wendy didn't lie about the phone call. She said they called. And they went down the timeline of the 2, the 4, and the 6, whatever date that they called in April.
Yes, they
so
did.
She know they called. So Wendy did not lie. She said Lebe is my sister's friend. What did she lie about? And it really has nothing to do with Wendy. It's her sister and her mother. You can't blame her for what they done. Everybody's grown. So, but you were a little thirsty, and your cousin in law was using her name to get special treatment. Deal with that. And far as the shrine thing, I used to be a Head Start teacher, and I live in Detroit. And in Southwest Detroit, we have a lot of Latin and Mexican people over there. I seen shrines, Catholic shrines, in many of them their yards. So that's no big deal. I don't know why they need to do their research and learn about
Yeah.
Catholicism before they start saying little stuff, because it just makes them all look dumb for not doing their research. And who else? Nobody else. I'm good. How are you?
All
I'm
right.
done.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you,
See y'all
Sean.
later.
Have a good
Bye
night.
bye.
You
All
too.
right. Our next caller, I think they're actually a new caller as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them on, and then Kyrie gonna be our last caller. Okay, so thank you for being patient. It was a line around the building. Y'all must have heard it was free for 11, child, because y'all showed up today. All right. Moments with Monroe. This your first time calling in, right?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you
Yes.
just fine. How you doing? Welcome.
I am doing so well. I love your channel, number one. And so
Thank
I'm glad I caught you live. Normally I catch the replay as well.
you.
Robin is doing what a lot of women in my life do that are in relationships with the father of their children, marriage, whatever. She's staying together for them kids. Like,
Mhm.
truth be told, once the youngest one goes to college, Juan's gonna file for divorce. He probably gonna file for divorce once they start applying for colleges, because there is no way Wendy could be that delusional and dumb. She's more so trying to keep up for the kids. And you could even tell Juan said in the past, I'm just here for the boys. So
Hmm.
it would be great for us to have a woman empowerment movement and say, Robin, leave him, love yourself, choose yourself. But she not selling hats. She don't have any hobbies. She's living for the kids. And so she gonna stay with Juan until the kids go to college, and she knows they're gonna get a divorce. I don't even think it's an arrangement at this point. And I don't even think that they're sexually engaged. Like when she says she swallowed, maybe back in 1994, because there is no way.
Not the
You know
freezing
what
So
I'm
air.
saying?
she got
Like, there is
pregnant.
no way you are, deep throat, and this man is in a hotel, paying for people. It's just, I don't see any love there. I see we're gonna raise these kids together. We like the fact that we share household activities and do stuff for the boys. Now, when it comes to Naneka, no, I ain't got her name yet. But when it comes to the double
Double
in,
in.
you know, I cannot stand how she is. And I have no African ancestry. I'm just a black girl in America. But I hate how she's weaponizing her Nigerian heritage, because you can even tell when she started talking about the titles, like the face that Wendy made, like, girl, like, what are you
Oh
talking
yeah.
about? It's like she wants to use, I'm Nigerian, I'm different, and use that to feel like she's educating everyone, or as if she's the unicorn in the room, when instead just show us who you are. Although you've been showing us very boring things, but still just show us who you are, instead
Mhm.
of trying to rest on this Nigerian thing, which leads me to believe that, yeah, it is a plot. I believe Giselle, Ashley, and Robin put a bug in her ear and said, you need to be the top Nigerian, when no, you should just be a wonderful black woman on this platform showing who you are. But she allowed them to put that bug in her ear, which is why she has so much animosity for Wendy, because there ain't no way I just met you and you finna call me a bitch. Like, what? So I think her energy is kind of, I feel like they already put that battery in her back. And so she's choosing to create conflict with Wendy. Because at the end of the day, Wendy confirmed that, yeah, my family called you. Yeah, I know of your sister. She never denied any of those things. It's Double N who's trying to make it seem like it's an issue, or even Ashley with that comment of, I think she just only wants to be the only Nigerian, as if she's jealous. when Wendy's a confident Dr. Wendy to you, sweetie, woman, I don't think that she's lacking in any area where she feels that she needs to compete with another woman because they have the same type of ancestry. And I think that's about it. Other than that, Ashley Darby and her lion forehead is never going to divorce. Golem, Golem is just tired of getting caught on camera. He said, "Let Juan keep getting caught. I'm out." And that's
Thank
all I
you.
have to say.
We
Thank you,
thank
Mom
you.
Julie,
All
bro.
right.
If you call in more
Thank
often,
you.
too, I think this is your first time, so thank you for calling in. I like
Don't
that.
let it be your last.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. All right. Our last caller is excellent about who loves to talk about Ashley's head. It's Kyra. Hey, Kyra, how are you?
Hey, Kyra.
I'm
You used to call
good.
her
So, yeah,
football head, right? What you used to call her?
yeah,
Kyra.
yeah, I did
Yeah.
call her.
Kyra used to call Ashley football head. How are you?
I did. Okay. I'm good. I'm so happy new callers. It is scary. I talk fast. I'm still kind of embarrassed about it, but it's so fun.
Don't be embarrassed. Just slow it down and take
We
your
used to it, honey.
time.
Okay. The boring stuff. Robyn is so boring. Robyn should have been fired because this is giving absolutely nothing. Her tagline is a lie because you care. I'm surprised. This is the reason why she's crying, and I do think because she realized she's been stepping in it when it comes to Juan's legal situation. Because the way I did not.
Oh wait, did you go out?
Yeah, she went
Kyra,
out.
you went out.
Oh, that phone said, "No, ma'am, not tonight."
Kyra overheated. Did you overheat, Kyra?
Internet. I know I live in the woods.
Okay.
Oh,
We're back.
I live in the woods. Don't do me. I live in the woods. Unfortunately,
it's
I'm back.
okay.
You back now. We hear you. We hear you. Go ahead.
Go sit by a
Okay.
window.
But Robyn's boring and Robyn's a flunky because my thing is how the next morning you're talking to Giselle and Ashley about why did they come to my room when you explicitly said several times everyone's invited to my room. So it shows how much she will switch up when Giselle is around when it comes to the other women because you literally table, oh, everyone's coming to my room, everyone's invited. Robyn's a flunky. She's boring. I don't really know why she was ever on the show. And Giselle needs to be fired just for pushing for Robyn to be on the show, let alone all her other behavior. I'm sorry. I do have a problem with NECA, and thank you, Tammy, for calling in because I am so tired of football head acting like she's the cultural expert on Nigerian culture when she cannot even pronounce her two Nigerian friends' names correctly. As she said, you can go to a Nigerian party and there will literally be women who sell the geles, who sell the fabric for you to wear, and who also you can pay for it to be wrapped on you. It is not a big deal. It literally is not. It's about pomps and circumstance. It's not a big deal, especially the Lebe being there. If her sister is the one who threw the baby shower, it's also expected then for Wendy to acknowledge her big sister's friend. So it is kind of gross to me. I do feel like NECA plays on people's ignorance about Nigerian culture to play up how strong of a connection Wendy and NECA have. Because I don't know. I always come back to NECA. You also said you don't know Wendy and you only met in passing twice. And you just moved to Potomac a year ago. So I don't know how you two are supposed to be knowing each other that well when you yourself have said you only met her twice. And one time you guys didn't even speak. So I don't know why we keep going in these circles about this situation. And I don't really see Wendy lying. I feel like Wendy was caught off guard the first time. I feel like the first time NECA brought it up, Wendy didn't know about the phone call. I think her main thing was, though, that you could tell from the interview that NECA brought that you wanted an issue. And so it is confusing that NECA's later on saying, well, you should say your mom is crazy. When your whole energy was, oh, she's doing shrines at night and she's a witch and all this kind of stuff. You wanted it to go this way. So you cannot now about, oh, you should just say your mom is crazy when the whole point is you're using that as fodder to say that Wendy does not want you here. If people can hear me. I know my internet. So I do feel like this was okay. So I do feel like it's a plot in a scheme. I do feel like she is playing on people's intelligence of not knowing certain things. That's how I feel. And I don't like it because it is kind of gross that you are, because it also feels gross of Wendy feeling like she has to defend her Catholicism, of like really showing that she's such a good Christian, because there is such a tie between people of the Black diaspora and tied with like witchcraft and black magic. And so now she has to like prove herself being ultra Christian because now you want to say she's doing voodoo and shrines. It's all like to me like a very sticky situation, and it's still not going well. And I just don't really know if it's gonna be fun. And Giselle needs to be fired because she won't let anyone move forward. She will not let anyone move forward. I think she is the weakest link. She has no more personal storyline. When she does have a personal storyline, she doesn't want to offer it up to anyone, and she doesn't want anyone to make up with each other. Every time Robyn is close to making up with someone, Giselle steps in. And the only time she can get over anyone's troubles is if they're light skinned. Just be real.
Yep.
If they're light skinned, get over it. Those are my thoughts. It was very fun listening to all the new callers today.
It was. I don't remember. So I remember the first caller, but I can't remember. It was T something. Do you remember what it was?
Tammy.
No, not
Tammy.
Right? It was the first one.
Oh,
it was
a longer.
Tiana.
Was it Tiana? Okay.
Tiana.
I had my thanks. I'm like, which one was it? Okay. Thank you, Kyra. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Really quickly, thank you to all of our callers, especially our new callers, returning callers, anyone that calls in. We're really appreciative and really grateful. Thank you to Kyra, Tammy, was it Moments with Monroe, Demisio, Sean, and you said it was, what was it? Tiana for calling in today. You know, this show, we always have callers, but you know, we getting a lot more. I think the channel is still like really growing. Of course, we just hit 3K recently, so we're still growing, and people are gonna tune in. And we, you know, I know y'all like to hear what we have to say, but we love to hear what y'all have to say because it just gives a whole different perspective. Some things we may miss that y'all may think about that we didn't think about. So continue to call in. Naya, I saw you in the chat. Don't be scared. I'm gonna be looking for you next week. I see you in the chat every week. I'm gonna be like, call in. Somebody remind me, I may forget. And before we get out of here, we had a super chat from SD Mac. Thank you again for another super chat. And the comment was, Giselle can't get out of sorority girl mode. Oh, sorry. Mia is the wild card. Ashley didn't forget about Robyn spilling Michael's tea trust. So you think that Ashley's gonna chime in and get her lick back on Robyn a little bit?
Well, it does seem like she has been. I said this, like Ashley's been strategically placing them in certain cars because you notice Robyn and Giselle haven't really been in the same car since they've been on this trip. So I thought that was kind of smart of Ashley if she's the one that's behind.
I don't think Ashley's that smart. I think she's helping. I think
she's messy enough.
I think, and I honestly think that the reason why we're getting this too is because Robyn is having to have these conversations because she did not have them and she was exposed last year. I think they're making her do these things now because she probably was really at risk of being let go. For real.
You know, and Cortez Tammy's asking when the Miami panel is.
Thursdays. We just make sure Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So really quickly, before we get out of here, of course, like and subscribe, but I'll give the rundown of the shows. The week we have 6 shows a week. It's a lot going on. So Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern, you can find Bell Collective. There wasn't one today. The panel is going to double up. Tuesdays, there's Salt Lake City and Married to Medicine. So Married to Medicine comes on at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then at 9:20 p.m. Eastern, Salt Lake City goes live right after the show airs on the on Bravo. Then Wednesday we have Beverly Hills at 9:05 p.m. So right after Beverly Hills goes off, and then Thursdays is our Miami panel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's featuring myself. Sometimes I'm there like partial time, but Danny, Jamie, Love, and Shantae are primarily there. So you can find Miami on Thursdays and the other shows. Just check our page. We give updates all the time on everything that's going on. And yeah, so if there's no further questions, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to lean out. We thank you guys for watching. Atomic will be here next week. I believe Christmas is in 2 weeks from today, so we probably won't have a show on the. I'm sorry, we won't have a show on the 25th because I'll be eating and opening gifts if I got some. But I'll be with family. You all will be with family. So that week there probably will not be any shows. If there is, we'll let you guys know. If not, we'll also let you guys know. So like, subscribe. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Antonio, and we'll see y'all next time. Okay? Thank y'all for watching.
Bye.